Okay, so this is my third Mesmer skate. And let me tell you one thing. They did something that no other brand had the courage to do it. Let me tell you what it is after showing a couple of clips of me skating with this. So.
Nós estamos já nas patins.
So right here with me, I got the nerdiest nerd of the skate nerds. Ivo Vegter. Vegter?
Vegter in Dutch. Yeah.
Vegter from This Is Seoul, one of the biggest skate shops in Europe,
Yep.
which is visiting me in Sines, Portugal, and
Yeah, thanks for hosting.
it's awesome because the thing is, like, I have this skate. I skated a couple of times. I've been wanting to share some opinions,
Yeah.
but having someone that is as much as or even more of an enthusiast about like
Yeah.
skating details than I am, which is you, then it only makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. We're gonna do review of the skate, of course.
I can't call what I do reviews. I'm biased.
I can.
So just for anyone watching this, I work for a skate company. So this is like the first time after started working with this company that I'm doing this thing with these skates. I'll call it my opinions.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling these things reviews anymore because I just don't feel like it's right. So.
That's no problem. Well, I usually do reviews of skates.
Yeah.
I call it reviews. One of the ones I haven't done yet is the Mesmer's Throne. But I will do it in the future. And one thing that I usually do different is that I take like the whole model apart. So from like this whole line, starting at all the pro models and the team skates and like everything that's about it. And now today we're going to do something that I've never done before, is only look at like a specific skate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for anyone watching these, let me just go right away to what I just told you a couple minutes ago, which is what's different about this skate compared to the other Mesmers. So this is my third Mesmer skate. I had the first one, which was the John Bolinos. I had the second one, which is right here with me right now. The first one, I had a size 42, 43. I am a 275 millimeter length skater. So in shoes, I'm usually 42 and a half, but most of the times 43. Up until a couple years ago, I always used 43 skates. So when I got my first Mesmers, I went for 43, which was what I used to use with the thrones when I skated the thrones. I felt like they were a little bit too spacious. Yeah. Then on my second ones, I got size 41, 42. And right now, on my third model, I have a size 42, 43. And it's insane because it's like what I mean by they were the first ones to actually do something. They changed the sizing. Mm-hmm. They realized that the 41, 42, it's not a real 41, 42, it's more of a 42, 43.
Yeah.
And they assumed it. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Anybody knows what other brand did this before?
No, tell me.
USD did it, of course, when it went from Desi-carbon to USD carbon. Or either somewhere in that period, they changed the sizing one step as well.
Okay, but that wasn't the same brand.
That wasn't? Okay. No, but...
same company, different brand.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so it's definitely rare. And also, I think it's really confusing because for the longest time, for the USD carbon example, the sizing was still listed wrong on the skate. So you could have like a size, let's say a size 43 skate, and it would say 41, 42 sole plate on it. So it looks like you had the wrong sole plate. And then ordering sole plates as a customer is really confusing, but also for us as a shop, it's really confusing if you want to help a customer. So I hope that everything goes well for Mesmer, because now, of course, we have a lot of like size 41, 42 sole plates in stock that should now go on a size 42, 43 shell. That's really confusing.
Yeah, but it's gonna go. It's like you are usually good at explaining that with your YouTube channel, so it should go. Okay. So I hope. Now the thing is, like, I think it's important for people out there to know, because when I do this type of things, I try to explain about the feet of the skate and all that. And I think it's important that you know that out there on the market, there's very few skates that would be on this sizing. So I would say probably the new DAM 99-inch medium would be the closest to these. But other than that, most of the skates for someone which is a 275, which is quite a common foot size, like the 42.5, someone that tries a 42 and it feels too narrow, and tries to downsize a 43 and it feels too tight, something like that. Yeah. And then when they go 43, it feels too big. This is honestly perfect in terms of off-sizing. Yeah. But if I'm going to be talking about the fitting, I think it's important to refer that this is my first Mesmer skate without a MyFit liner, and I love it.
I would say it's actually a MyFit liner though. But to come back to the sizing thing, I measured, you can take out the liner of a skate, and then it has an inside length. And I measured with this special tool all the inside length of all the shells in all the sizes. It's available on our website and on our YouTube. There's a video about it, and the link in the description of that video goes to an Excel sheet with all the internal sizing. But I haven't done the throne, because when I measured all that, the throne wasn't out, because the last throne was in 2015. So now we have the throne again, and I'll measure this one as well. So anybody wanting to know exactly like how specific the inside length is, and if it's actually in between of some of the other shells that you say, I'm gonna double check that and add it to the list. And you can sort the list by inside length. So if you have if you want to have like a shell that's 1 millimeter smaller, then you can find exactly the brand and model.
That's cool.
Would have that.
Like in terms of feeling, that's exactly how. Yeah. What I said is exactly how it feels to me. Now, yes, I do know that some of the cuts on this liner are similar to the MyFit second skin, sure, but the materials are different. Okay. And like on the inside, it kind of feels, it feels like a pajamas. It's like it's a PJ party.
Nice and soft, yeah.
And it's white, it's gonna get dirty for sure. That's one important thing. Now, the material on the tongue is also not like the normal second skin. No. It feels more like the power slide fitness skates type of tongue on some skates.
And they use the Aeon and use the suede team versions.
Team versions, yeah. So, yeah, it's probably a cheaper liner. It's dual size. You can see the neoprene in the front. But again, it's probably the best fitting liner that I had on a Mesmer skate. Yeah. So I think that's the most important, more than this fit as a MyFit or this or that, if it fits good. So in terms of fitting, it fits good to me.
It's heat moldable as well, I think, probably just by the look, just because it looks like a second skin.
But I don't know.
It doesn't advertise it.
No, not at all. I don't see it. Well, if it's going like 80 degrees.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that this one is heat moldable. I would definitely try it. If you just heat it up until 80 degrees Celsius.
I don't know. I usually don't really heat mold liners. Like I heat mold intuitions. Yeah. But that's because they are to break in, and like most of the liners, they don't. Now, something that it's also important to say is it comes with a shock absorber. Is it needed? No. I don't think it is, but I understand why they wanted to. It's like when you have skaters like John Bolinos jumping from roofs and all that stuff. Yeah, you do want to have that extra protection for shock or shock absorption, whatever you want to call it. But it's a raised heel skate, and I was just checking. I don't have like I can check it here. I can show you something here. So. It's a raised heel skate, and I was talking to Ivo before filming this video about it, and Ivo was saying that it's probably not fair to talk about these without talking about the exact same on other skates. Yeah. So the space to go between the liner, like between the sole plate through the shell and everything, it's about
2.5 centimeters.
2.5 centimeters. Now, you still need to go through that little bit of a shock absorber.
Yeah.
Plus the liner has the inside and a tiny, but it's still like a couple of millimeters, like 5-6 millimeters here. And it kind of feels to me, and that's the one thing about this skate. When I put this skate on, it really feels like I'm too tall and too leaning forward. I like that for some things. I don't have a lot of flexion on my foot. Like my toes don't come up too high.
Yeah.
And because of that, when I skate with my heel raised, I feel like I can squat easy.
Yeah.
You know, when you try to squat and you raise your heels because you don't have flexibility enough, well, this would be amazing.
Yeah.
But it also feels like it's not stable because of that. As I was telling you before filming this, I always feel like when your foot is too much like this, it loses stability. So if you put a woman on raised heels or on flat, it can be a man too, whatever, on raised heels or on flat, someone on flat will be way more stable, and I really feel it when I skate. So I feel a bit unstable in terms of that. I feel like top sides are easy, but also negative tricks are easy.
Yeah.
So it's not like a stable ride to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something I've noticed, and I've said it before on another Mesmer video. I've said it that I feel like my foot goes a little bit too much, like in a negative way, like go to the inside. Yeah. But with this liner that is slimmer, I feel a little bit more stability in a way that it doesn't go just inside, but it goes inside and outside, meaning that it's more about the height of the heel than actually just inside. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I never advise people to put in an extra shock absorber if there's already a heel raise in this one, and the heel raise is pretty big from this skate, like you just measured. So, yeah, if I would skate it, I would take it out.
Yeah. There's other people that are actually reviewing skates, like Brandon as an example. Brandon, he says when he skates with the M12s, which is a raised boot, he feels a lot of impact because there's a lot of plastic underneath. So he feels the need, and I think he had some problems with his heels, so he feels the need to put shock absorbers, but then the position is going to be even more like leaning forward. So I think it really depends on what you're gonna, or of what you want on the skate, but I think it's also very important for people to know that if your skate is going to go on a more aggressive position with your heel raised, it's going to roll slower, period. You can do the test. Put 2-3 shock absorbers and try to go skate forward, and you feel like you're falling forward, it feels slower, but when you go backwards, it feels faster.
Ah, okay.
Maybe it's just a feeling, but to me, it makes a difference.
If you want to have like a nice cushioning in landing, I'm going to say something very contra-intuitive, but having actually a really good insole that is exactly in the shape of your foot is actually easier on landings than having a thick shock absorber. And to test that, you can do this at home as well. You can do a heel drop test, so you can stand up on your toes and then let yourself drop on your heels. And if you do that on bare foot on like a concrete floor, it will hurt a little bit on your heels. And then you do the same test, but you put a shock absorber on it, and it will definitely hurt less. But if you have like a really good insole, like a Superfeet insole, and you do the same test, you feel even less pain than with a really thick shock absorber.
I can justify that.
Yeah.
It's very simple, because when you do that on the floor, there's a small surface of your foot that hits and gets all the impact. Exactly. When you do it on a shock absorber, it's the exact same area on a softer cushioning area. But when you have like a good shock absorber that gives you a nice heel cup, then you're distributing the whole weight to get the impact.
Exactly, yeah. And then you don't have that ridiculous heel raise. So, and it actually gives you more control as well by having a good insole. Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need to have more control. Okay, this is like a bunch of theory, guys. Okay, now let me do the normal thing that I usually do, like a little bit of a product description. I think it's important. So 20 minutes later, the wheels on this skate are 60 millimeters, 90A on the outside, 95 on the inside. The 95s on the inside do not feel like 95s. They feel soft. I don't know why. But what I don't know, it could be the profile, because when you look the profile, it's a very, I call it meaty, very meaty wheel. Like it's more, not really a flat profile. It's a little bit flat, but it's not one of those, not like the red eye wheels that were completely like, not like square, but it's very meaty. And because of that, I kind of feel like when I grind, I still feel a little bit of wheel bite, even on this frame, which is such a, once again, meaty, thick frame. If you use this frame with a rounder profile wheel, it actually, it's almost like no wheel bite.
Yeah, I love that. For grinding, at least.
But having a wheel like this also should roll faster. And I always thought it was way faster. But then when I had these skates and when I went down skating, I also went to our new bull. I did a couple of tricks with it. I was able to do a couple of grinds and all that. And it felt slower than I was expecting. But also I need to say that I came from skating a Sola frame with famous wheels to these. And I kind of felt like, it doesn't go anywhere. But when I skated everywhere else, like on a plaza or a couple of ledges and all that stuff, it felt good.
Yeah, hardness is just the last thing you want to take notice of. If you're wanting to have a speedy setup, everything else is more important than hardness.
Yeah, but the thing here, which is interesting, is having two wheels which just like the same formula as that, the exact same wheel, just different hardness. And you can even see it, like you'll see that this one is whiter, more white, and this one is more yellow.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
You can notice that a little bit.
Yeah, you can see it.
It's like more like dense. Then the frame, have you tried the Fluidify frame that comes stock on it?
Me personally, I like grinding too much to ride flat. And that's one of my limitations as well. Yeah. I don't want to sacrifice, like if I'm aggressive skating, I'm aggressive skating, and I want to do grinds. And I tried flat, of course, like a couple of times, but then every time I get a hang up, I just throw my frame out and... Now I ride wish frames, and with that's the only frame that I can skate flat with.
Or Aeons.
I had Aeons as well and had a hang up with that, but yeah. Aeons have a big split as well. I rode your setup the other day, and still that was kind of like scary to me as well.
Which ones?
The solar frames.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get used to it. The thing is always like...
I don't want to get used to it. I just want to get used to stuff that makes it easier. It's like, oh, I can get used to this. Huh. But I don't want to get used to it. Like, oh, fuck, I need to get used to it.
Freestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's just a question of getting used to it. But I think it's important for people watching this to know that even someone like you that doesn't really skate flat could still get boot only. Because this skate is sold as a boot only and as a complete, right? We were actually looking at the price. I think it's important to also say this skate was sent to me by Powerslide. They did not pay me anything for this video. They have no saying on anything. Just talking about giving some opinions about this video. I think that's important. But I didn't really knew the price of the skate, so I went and I looked for the price of it, and it's apparently a skate that it completes costs $250. You have it at the shop, right? Yeah. It's $250 complete, and if you buy boot only, it's $180, meaning that you're paying $70 for a set of Fluid 5s with two different Durometer wheels, same size, same set. I think it's a good deal. Yeah. For $250, and it's on par with the other skates. Like, what's the price of like a Razor's?
This one is super expensive.
Not this, but the Razor's Cult.
Cult is also like about 200 euros. Depends on really the edition. Most Cults are like cheap, like 200, but then they have like the Shima Pro skates, which are, I don't even know from the top of my head, but definitely in the 300. Okay.
But it also comes with a different liner. It doesn't come with a team liner. It's the same with these. When you bought these, would be a similar price to the Shimas. While this is a team skate, like they didn't use some of the Pro components, but they used one of the most important new components here.
The buckle?
Yes. It's a really nice addition. It still has something that I don't like. Right here. So, the buckle of the Trons, it's one of those that has the screw in the back.
Yeah.
Meaning that this whole piece rotates. It's very flexy. So you end up using the buckle a lot more than sometimes even the cuff.
Yeah, especially with the older thrones, like from 2008 or something. The cuff wouldn't move at all, and with this one, it's as well. But it seems like the modern Mesmers have a little bit more forward flex.
You know what I saw the other day? I think I have a picture on my phone. If I have the picture of this on my phone, I'll put it. I don't need it. I'm seeing it right now. I was going to say that, but you can see it right now. You see what happens? Because this side doesn't move at all, the outside side of the buckle, but this one moves. So very often, what's going to happen is that when you look at your skate after skating, you'll see that the buckle, the whole buckle is a bit corked on the inside, and that's because this moves. Hardly moves to the top and moves down, and that's probably the reason why I felt like my skate going in the negative, into a negative, leaning to the inside. I can't really say it's 100% because of that, but looking at my skate and seeing some movement here, it's for sure something that it's
quite interesting, because now that you say it, there was this one time period in my life when I did a lot of negative grinds, and it was on...
You're a very negative person at that time.
It was on the throne skates, so they might be easier to
look
to do a
when
supination with.
supination, pronation, I sometimes forget the name of it anyway. So when I made the first reviews on the Mesmer of the John Bolinos, that was one of the things that I said was like, it is so easy to negative. I kind of feel like it's better to negative with these than with shadows that have a much bigger sole. I felt easier to do negatives with the Mesmers, but I also felt at the same time that I could do a trick that I don't do as often, which is like an alley topsole, which is a top side trick. So at the same time that I was able to do negatives, I was able to do top sides. And if I need to blame something, I'll blame the raised heel, the non-stability, which means that you're going to be able to do top sides or negatives so easy. So in terms of doing technical grinds, I think this skate makes everything a lot easier. In terms of like landing like stuff with big impact, can make things a lot easier. But if you're someone that wants to skate like fast in a bowl and more like in control, it may be a bit harder. But then you can look, I'm talking about a guy like me. I'm not talking about the John Bolinos that will skate in control, full speed everywhere it does, or like a Dominic Bruce, or like it's a different thing. I'm talking about my opinions, how I felt about it. I still love it.
It's definitely a factor. You can also see it with people who skate Aeons, because the Aeon is one of the skates who's the closest to the ground. It just seems as if they have a harder time, like supinating their skate. This is supinating because you ask for subsidy, so you raise your hands, and this is pronating because you're doing prost.
Prost.
Prost. You remember it.
Okay, what else? Like now, if this is the first video that you're watching about these skates, like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, I can tell you that there's a couple of different things in this skate that you can't really see, at least until now, another, or at least they were the first ones. Starting with, they were the first company that I know to make like the printed soles. Like, which was a really nice touch to the skates. Like, I think it was really unique. They have a really nice sole plate. This is obviously not a new mold, as Ivo was saying. The last Mesmer was actually 2015. The last Throne was 2015, before the Mesmer. It was like the skate that made USD a famous brand. They released the first one like 97.
Yeah, something like that.
So they were making those skates for 18 years, and then they decided not to make them anymore, and then they revived them with Mesmers, which is, by the way, company, which is, I don't know if I should say company skater owned or skater run. It's skater owned because for sure Matthias is a skater, but apparently Billy O'Neill is also one of the owners. So something that I really like about Mesmer, I really like about Mesmer, is their team. Is yes, you have some guys that are not the youngest, like Billy and Mark. But everyone that they're adding is just like new juice.
Yeah, Levi and Dominic are great as well.
And not even just that, like Amber, the girl from New York.
Very cool.
Yeah, really cool. Okay, what else can we say about this skate? Do you have any complaints from the people that buy the Mesmers from you? Or is there anything that you heard being common with Mesmer skates?
Like back in the day, there was a lot of problem with the sizing, but I think now with the new liner that's kind of like got fixed. And then that's about it. Maybe like the cuff bolts coming loose, like just if I remember the old thrones, but I haven't really had that be a problem with the new ones. So I would say overall this is like a great, solid, strong beast of a skate.
Okay. I don't know if I can call it a beast because of one reason. I know that they're really good. I like them a lot. But just like the Dams, which is like the most core brand supposed to be for street skating, the sole plates don't last that long.
Yeah, we sell a lot of sole plates. Like a lot of sole plates.
You can sell sole plates for more than one reason. One of them being that they don't last very long. I've seen a couple of people with holes on the sole plate. Especially if you skate a lot of ledges. But also another reason for you to sell a lot of sole plates, you know it's because they fit in a lot of different shells. So it's a sole plate that can be used for a lot of customization, right?
So there's a couple of skates who have kind of like the same bottom, like the throne, but also the cult. If you take the sole plate off, the M12, the Fifth Element, and the USD Sway and the DEM 909, if you take the sole plate off, it looks a lot the same. So I tried all sizes of these skates to swap the sole plates, and I have a chart. It's on my YouTube, of course. And yeah, so for this skate, there's Fifth Element sole plate that can fit in some sizes, and there's a DEM skate sole plate in some sizes that can fit. But the other way around, this sole plate will fit actually on a lot of other boots. It will fit on Fifth Element, on USD Sway, probably a bunch of more that I forget right now. Haha, Flying Eagle, apparently.
This is like a...
Yeah, it's the most universal sole plate.
This is the free skate. You know, like an urban skating boot has those bumps. So I took it off and I just played around with it. It fits.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because the USD Sway sole plate was kind of like marketed as a kind of like a universal sole plate that would fit on a lot of boots, but actually it didn't. Actually, the Mesmer Throne sole plate is way more universal.
It's way heavier.
Yeah.
It's not the lightest skate.
No, for sure.
It's one of the heaviest skates that we have on the market. Let's get it. Yeah, and that's good.
This is a flat setup, so that adds a little bit of weight as well.
It's 2,040 grams for a flat setup, but on the previous one, with a much more padded liner, it was close to 2,150. So it lost it lost 100 grams just from the liner, which is interesting. Like I don't really care that much about how much it weighs, but I know that some people out there are interested. So now you know, 42-43 Mesmer, 2,040 something grams. 2,000 and it lost 12 grams. So he's on diet. 2033. Nice. And that's it. Is there anything else that you... I think there's a very important thing. Very, very important. Check this out. So we were talking on the last video that I made with Mesmers, which was with the Dominic Bruce. I said that they would feel a little bit like leaning on the inside. And the solution that Mesmer found was adding a lace loop.
Yeah.
There's one extra lace loop on the Team Skate 3, on the TS3, or is it TS2?
This is TS2.
Yeah, the TS2. It has this. I think the TS1 didn't have this lace loop. I think this is new one.
I think so, yeah.
And that is supposed to allow you to lace it differently, like to a higher part of the skate, and it should give you a little bit more stability.
Yeah.
So,
I have a bunch of other stuff that I can tell.
tell me.
I mean, like if you want to like have like general information about the skate, it's maybe good to know that the buckle is kind of like it's a new buckle from Kaiser, and it's really has like a built-in buckle. There you go, buckle protector. So it makes it a lot stronger, but it also makes it a lot easier to
It's lower profile.
It's more flush.
Yes, and lower profile, meaning that these protectors, not in every skate, they're so high. So it's underneath the protector in almost all the skates.
And it's longer, sticks out longer, so the leverage is higher, so it's actually easier to close it. And it's easier to mount it with the screwdriver and unscrew it. If you ever want to unscrew it, then it's kind of like a standard buckle mount, SBM, and it has 3 holes. So I call it an SBM3. And any SBM3 buckle will fit on this skate. So if you want to customize it, if for some reason you don't like this great buckle, and it's one of the best buckles on the market right now, but if you want to change it to any other buckle, you can. For the cuff.
But let me tell you one thing very important, which is it's a regular 3 buckle, but because of the receptor, it doesn't fit on. Not every buckle will come with this receptor.
That's true.
Because if you have one of those that you need to use the other way, it will fit, and you need to do some changes. And this is a bit of a. If you example, if you buy a set of the Kaiser buckles, it will not come with this receptor. If you buy it, will not fit here.
That's good. Yeah. Interesting.
So.
The cuff also comes loose, of course, with these 2 bolts, and there's 2 cuff sizes. So for the smaller sizes, then 42, there's one size, and then 43 and bigger, there's another size. And
44, because this is 42, 43 now.
You see, that's where it goes wrong. It's annoying. But they never changed the cuff sizing, so if you have like an original Throne from 98, the cuff still fits.
Probably the cuff still says that, wait, the cuff will say 40, 40.
See?
I don't know. I should check. I don't know where the tool is, so I'm lost.
Here.
Can check it.
And also the UFS Throne was another Throne type model. It basically was not the same model at all, but it did have the same cuff. So if you want to play around with cuffs, there's like so many OG cuffs and colors. Like every color was made that you can think of. Purple, glow in the dark was made.
And there was like flat versions. There's some with the deep V cut, right?
Yeah, that's one other thing. Like it's really particular is that all the pro skates from Mesmer until now have a straight cut, and then the team versions have a V cut.
Oh, I didn't realize that. It's true.
Yeah. I don't know why they did it, or if that's like a pattern. They'll.
If you have such a forward flex, it doesn't have that much forward flex. I was gonna say, if it has such, that would make a difference. But if you don't, why would you need a V-cut much?
Well, if the cuff works properly, you shouldn't need a V-cut.
And now, let me tell you that... Wait. No. Did you know that?
What?
Do you know what size this cuff is?
It should be a small.
Read it.
Yeah.
There's only 2 cuffs, as you were saying, huh?
Yeah.
38, 42.
Yeah.
So now it's 38, 43.
Actually, there are 4 cuff sizes, now that you say it. But maybe that's interesting. So, okay, this is one question that I have. Because there's a smaller shell, and I'm not sure, because the smaller cuff was never... Wait, I need to really dig this from my memory. I think the smallest size has also the same cuff. So there's a kid skate. And the kid skate was actually the last classic Throne on the market. So it's not like the blue one.
Yes, I remember that.
But in 2019 and 2020, they actually re-released.
I know, I remember that.
And that was it had like a little insert in it. It was like a size 35 to 38 adjustable, but not adjustable kid skate. it had the size small cuff on it, if I remember it correctly. And one interesting thing that Mesmer did right now with this model, which they did not do with the other models, because all the other models had the kid skate as an adult skate as well, where USD never had that. But now they have a 36, 37 size kid skate and a size 38, 39 kid skate, but both these two small sizes use the same shell. So it's really misleading. So if you think like, oh, perfect, they have like 36, 37 kid skate. No, it's actually the size 38, 39 still. That's an interesting thing. If you want to use it in small sizes, there's no point in getting the size 36, 37 because it's...
But in terms of sizing of
The cuff is the same, if I remember it.
But there's only two. There's 38 to 42, and then which is now 43, and that would be 43. What? 47? Is that the biggest size? What's the biggest size Mesmer?
47, yeah.
But if is it a real 47 or 47 that feels like a 48?
But that's the one they didn't change because now it's called 46, 47, but it used to be 45, 47.
Okay. But it feels like a real 47. Do you know that?
I don't know. It's not my size.
Nobody can get feedback or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is it.
You think I have more if you want?
Is that it? Okay, tell me.
They added this thing as the laces.
Oh, is that the new one? Did that not come? It came on the team once.
Yeah, really?
I think it came on the team once.
I don't know that from the top of my mind.
I think it came on the team once. I like that. It's a little detail that can tell people what they are skating. Interesting enough, the marks that you have like on the Mesmers, you don't have like anything on the molds. It's printed.
Yeah, that's true.
The only thing that you have is here on the inside. But do we have it on the sole? And you have it here also on the... You also have it on the...
What?
Here it says Mesmer too.
Okay, good.
Just like it says there.
And it still says the old sizing in there as well.
I like this. The space for the UFS receptor, it's recessed. This is something that doesn't happen on the sways. Even on the cults, it doesn't happen. And that makes it, when you're trying to downsize and the skate is not too tall in the front, you feel everything. And then that thing is really poking against your foot. It doesn't happen with this.
Yeah.
It feels really comfortable to me. I know that some people say that they feel a little bit the outside of the skate.
Yeah.
To me, it feels great. In terms of comfort, really good.
There's one fun way you can make this into a big wheel skate. Did you know about that?
No, tell me.
There's the Trinity adapter.
Oh, can you use it?
Yeah, you can fit on this. Yeah.
Okay, because it's so wide, so you can do it like in the zooms.
Yeah.
And do you think the sole is hard enough?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that would be a nice test.
Yeah.
That would be a nice test. I'll go downhill with those big ones. You know the VH350 frame. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah, it's possible.
you show up at Winter Clash with that, like just going like that. That would be the way. Come, tell me more. Do you have more?
Come
on. What color is Levy's skate gonna be?
I can't talk about that.
Damn it, almost.
I don't know nothing.
First you say he doesn't. See, guys, he already knows that the skate is coming out. We all know.
I don't know anything.
I don't know. It's all good. This is a confirmation right here, live.
Let's leave it at that.
It's all good, man. These are important topics.
And one more thing I wanted to say is that one thing I did back in the day with my drones is, if you leave that off for 1 second, there's these rabbit ears in the back, and if you want to improve the flex of the drone, because the cuff doesn't really move. I'm not saying you should, but if you want to, it's good to know that you can actually cut this in.
Yeah, deeper.
Yeah, cut it in deeper a little bit, and then the forward flex increases a lot.
Okay. So for someone that doesn't know, the way that the forward flex of the skates can be Chris, is by if these things get together, if there's space for these things to get together, or the easier these things get together, the more forward flexors can get. That's kind of like the counter place where it hits when you want to do this movement.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Wanna skate thrones now?
Now you want to skate rounds?
Yeah.
They don't fit you. You need to skate them without a liner.
This one, yeah, no, but it's one size.
But you know what? It probably could fit. This is an interesting thing for all of you guys. So 2022, the last time that I was in the US, I was at Shop Desk. And I was in Shop Desk Seattle. And at the time, it was after reviewing the Bolino 43, 44 skates. And I felt like I had space, I could go downsize. I could downsize the boot, so I asked him, hey, can I try the 41, 42? And by mistake, he got me a 40, 39, 40. And I took my Intuition liner, the V2s, I put it inside, and I could fit. Really, really tight. But I, as someone with a 275 millimeter foot, could fit on a size 40. I'm usually a 43 in shoes, could fit in a 40.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was insane to me, but I think it's interesting for people to know.
Yeah, I'll measure all the inside length of the thrones when I get back to the shop.
And also something very interesting is that when I first reviewed the Mesmers, they were from this Royal.
Yeah, yeah.
And now there's the power slide sticker here. Yeah. I just noticed it.
Yeah, it's funny how that changed very quickly.
That's it. It did.
Yeah.
But I see a power slide sticker here. So, yeah, this is it. We're done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, Ivo. That was cool.
Yeah, thank you.
I would love to do more of this because instead of going like with a review, talk about these.
Yeah.
Like, sharing experiences and...
We can talk about skates for hours.
And details. We can do more.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we'll do the next one on your channel.
Oh, we didn't talk about the backslide groove yet.
Gonna talk that? Let's do it.
What do you think it looks like best? Because for me, it reminds me of the old classic throne.
To me, it reminds me of the things. It reminds me of the SSM skates, and it reminds me somehow. Three things. Reminds me somehow of the SSM. Reminds me of the razors. Somehow the shape of the old super flat.
Yeah, super flat.
And it also reminds me a little bit because of the place where it is and the form and all that. The M12s.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So there's three things that I see here, and what I feel is that I love it.
Yeah, you love it?
Yes, I love it, and I'm someone. Look, I'm the fish torque type of guy. Mm-hmm. I don't do my torques here. I do my torques here. Okay. So I usually create a second groove here. Okay. But for backslides and all that, I really like it. I feel like this allowance that I have, or the possibility of moving, because when I have I feel like when I have the groove too straight, it's a little bit more restrictive. Yeah. So what I started doing now is I even go with the grinder and just make it smoother.
Why would you have a groove at all? Why would you make it flush? Isn't that even better for you then?
I don't know. Maybe ask that to the SSM guys, to the NIM guys. Do it yourself.
Do it yourself. Yeah.
I don't know, you can see here, look here a bit, what I was telling you.
Yeah.
You can see it starts getting a little bit of a groove.
I'm the opposite. I want to have like a perfect groove on the perfect spot and have a perfect lock, so that if I do a torque, I can really stand on it and count on the groove to help me lock.
Yeah, but I lock too, but I just lock in a different way.
Yeah, but then it's not locking, it's like just standing there, but there's no lock, it's just...
Well, it's no lock at the beginning, but after like a couple sessions, and especially with this sole plate, you can see. I skate mainly park and you can see. Yeah. What I was saying, that the sole plate is not the stronger one, the strongest one. Yeah. Yeah.
It's an interesting shape for the backside groove for sure.
I like it.
Yeah, good.
It's cool that like we have different opinions and...
Yeah, especially like everybody needs to do their own thing with these grooves and everything. And if this is what you like, then the Mesmer sole plate is great. There's also some other sole plates that fit on this boot if you want to change it. Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
Now we are good.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Thank you, Ivo. Yeah. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you enjoyed this one, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. I'll be making more of these. Ivo will be making more of these, and we hope that these guys will keep making more of these.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget why we all started skating and why.
Because it's fun. See you guys in the next one.
Thank you. That was awesome.